Thank you.
Jerry, I want to ask you, as you know, we've raised the limits from 100,000 to 150, and then from, was it $1 million up to $1 million, 750 to $1 million. I understand that you all are concerned if we raise those even higher because you want to make sure that this gets spread to really small businesses and starting up. But given the testimony here, how would you comment about that sometimes it takes more money to put an application for $150,000 together than the $150,000 award?
I think we need to make sure the application process is simple and clean and consistent across the agencies. It shouldn't cost more. But when you increase the size of the awards, you crowd out other opportunities, other technologies, and other people. To do that, you must do it very carefully. This program was designed to meet the early market niche where no money is available. Venture capitalists don't look at technologies that are basically being funded under the SBIR program. Once you get through the program, they may look at it, but the first SBIR you win or the first phase 2 you win, no venture capitalist is going to be looking at that technology. This is money that no one else offers. And when Roland Tibbett set this program up, he was very specific that we needed to fill that early stage niche. And that niche is worse and deeper now than it's ever been. Venture capitalists have pulled out of the early and seed stage business. Look at the numbers. They're way down. There's nobody playing in this niche except SBIR. You raise the size of awards, you crowd out other companies and opportunities, and you crowd out the have-not states.
And what do you think, pressing you a little on this, what do you think about the waiver idea, though, if it's very limited, targeted, but available?
It was in the law, and the SBA gave NIH a blanket waiver, and you saw the award size shoot up. So only if it's really careful and really monitored, I would limit it to 1 or 2 awards per agency per year. Let the head of the agency pick what is really important to him, what he thinks is best. Make it a competition. Don't allow it just to be one, bureaucrat at SBA who has a bad moment and grants a blanket waiver, and then you see 10 years of increased awards, and you see the number of applicants go down because the chance of winning went down.
Dr. Silver?
Very quick point to make. I would agree for the most part. I would just make one point, is that there's a difference between different kinds of technologies and what the funding is going to get. And if you've got funding $150,000 for a software project, you can get pretty far along. For a biotech project, if you are a completely new company, you're not going to even be able to start. So if there is concern of crowding out with a blanket higher level, I would say look at the different technologies, figure out what's actually needed to prove feasibility for a given technology.
Jerry, what do you say about that?
I think you still come down to the situation where the SBIR program isn't going to be, it never intended to funnel, to fund the entire drug development process for a drug. $500–600 million necessary to get a drug approved. The whole SBIR budget in the NIH wouldn't do one. So it just can't do it. We want to get as many technologies as far along as we can. That's just that simple. We can't simply pick a few winners. The government's not real good at that. Okay. We pick 100 winners, we'll get a few really successes.
Dr. Wessner?
Initially, I wanted to agree. I think the standard award size at 150 and $1 million makes a lot of sense, and it simply restores it closely to where it was at the origin, discounting for 20 years of inflation. So that's a good place to be. But we would argue strongly for the flexibility that we discussed earlier. I don't think, I don't think any of us in this room can make those judgments. That's what program managers and the selection committees are for. I do think they should justify it if they make harder. I think we should allow, as we do, to make much smaller awards. The Department of Agriculture and EPA make really small awards, and that they're comfortable doing that. Remember my original testimony, that is why this program works, is because we don't try and tell them what to do. It's not a French program that is centrally directed from this room. It works because it works differently everywhere. They should be held accountable. We do want to know what they're doing and why. They should be able to justify that. But the decisions should stay out there, or I think we're in trouble. And I would also respectfully say, I don't think the problem is as big as it's been painted sometimes. I mean, NIH has made some larger awards. No one complains when the Navy is adding SBR funds and they're getting procurement funds to actually deliver something to a warfighter. We don't want to tie their hands on that. So I would ask them to report, ask them to defend and justify, but let them do what they think they need to do.